Hi golfers, Nick here from Nick Taylor Golf. Today I have with me the PIQ swing analyzer. Thanks to PIQ for sending this through to me. It looks like a really interesting piece of kit which I will unbox in a second. Just to let you know before we start, it works as a GPS rangefinder. So you connect it to your smartphone and it will give you distances to the front, the middle or the back of the green. You can also, on your phone, look at the layout of the hole, look what it is to certain hazards. There's also a swing analysis setting as well, so it measures your shots, which we will go through and I'll be testing that today. And there's also a shot tracking system, keeps a record of all your scores so you can look back at them when you need to. So what we're going to do is unbox it, take a look what's inside, and then we're going to be testing it out today. Okay, so the first box, I think that's the, looks like the PIQ must be in there, that's the bit that goes onto your glove. Let's have a look. Okay, so you can see in the box there, that's the sensor which connects to your glove. Okay, so in here we've got, looks like a little manual, shows you how it works. And then inside here we have PIQ fuel. Okay, so this is a USB stick which looks like it charges the analyzer up, so I think it slots into there, something like that, and I guess you just plug that in to sort of charge it up. So what else have we got in here? Okay, so these are the tags. So I'm gonna get it out. Okay, so you can see the tags here. You might be able to see the clubs next to it. Let's take one out. Okay, so you've got 5 wood here. Okay, so you look on the inside of the tag, it tells you what club it is. So these screw into the top of the grip, and by the looks of it, I think when you play, you scan that against the analyzer and it picks up the club that you're using. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to attach all these to my clubs and we're going to give it a test out. I'm going to test out the range setting first, see what you can do on the range, see what it's like for practicing, and then we're going to head out onto the course and see what it's like out on the golf course. Okay, so I've charged the PIQ, I've put them all in my clubs, so I'm on the driving range here, so we're going to test it out for the driving range setting. So on your phone, you go into the app and it comes up with the golf course you're on, it tells you about previous rounds, etc. If I go to the driving range mode, I don't know if you can see it on the screen there, I just press go and then it says tap your club to PIQ. So if I tap my 9-iron here, it comes up on there 9-iron, and on my phone it says make a swing. So let's test it out. So just hitting a few 9-irons to start with. Okay, it's a pretty good shot. So on my app now, it comes up, it gives you a pro score. I'm not quite sure how to work that out yet, but it's giving me a score of 6,500. It says the swing plane is inside, 70 miles an hour, and the tempo is 2.9 to 1. Let's try 5-iron. Okay, pretty good shot again. So this time, 7,341 score. If I scroll down, 219 degrees backswing, downswing slightly outside, clubhead speed 75 miles an hour, swing duration 0.92, so slightly quicker with the 5-iron, backswing duration 0.68 and 0.24 downswing. Gives me a ratio of 2.8 to 1, which isn't too bad. So you can keep track of your swing, so it tells you how long your backswing is, which is quite handy for golfers that maybe they're trying to shorten their swing or trying to lengthen their swing. They can keep an eye on that, on how many degrees it goes back. Downswing club path, not sure how useful that is It's told me I've got an outside swing path on the way down, so I think I've come slightly in and slightly over on the way down, but that ball drew, so I'm not sure. I wouldn't say it was outside the line of the ball, but it might have been slightly outside of my backswing position. It keeps a track of your speed and your tempo, which I think is really important when you're practicing. Most golfers tend to have a good swing speed and a good tempo, which changes when they get out onto the golf course. They can get out onto the golf course and suddenly they start to speed up. So I think what would be quite good with this is, if you're going out to use it when you're practicing, keep an eye on your swing speed and your tempo, and then when you're out on the course and you're using those same clubs, you can check and see if it's the same speed as your practice, see if it's the same tempo as your practice, which I think is really important. A lot of golfers tend to quicken up and their tempo gets a lot quicker when they're out on the golf course. So I think that's a really handy tool to use when you're using the PIQ. So really interesting, something adding into your practice really. So rather than just hitting golf balls, you can actually keep a record of all the shots you use, and it's quite handy just to use to warm up before you go out and play. I'll be interested to see what it's like out on the golf course. That's what I'm really excited about, to test this. So driving range pretty good. Let's head out now onto the golf course, see what it's like out there. Okay, so we're on the fourth hole, 196 yards to the front of the green, 213 to the middle. I'll put the data up on the screen so you can see it. So very easy, I've got 5-iron here. Just tap it against the sensor, it comes up 5-iron. Let's give it a go. So we're out in the fifth hole here at Risebridge. I don't know if you can see it on the screen here, but there's a map of the hole and there is also an aerial view. So you click on that and it gives you an aerial view of the hole. This is quite handy on this hole because it's a little bit of a dog leg, so it moves from right to left. So you can see that on the aerial view, and kind of gives you a bit of a line that you need to sort of go over. You can also move the cursor up and down so you can see where it is to lay up to the ditch or what it is to carry. If you are laying up, it will sort of give you a yardage from there to the green. So 190 to lay up, which would leave 135 to the green. I'm gonna hit driver, so I'm gonna try and cut this corner so I can move the cursor and sort of work out what line I wanna go on, because there's a bit of a dog leg here. So let's give it a go. So what I've got to do is tap the driver against there and it comes up on the screen, driver. Hopefully, hit a good shot. Pretty good line. Okay, so we're in the par 5 8th here at Risebridge. You can see I'm going to put the map on the screen so you can see it. So I'm going to tap my club. It's par 5, it's about 475. It's downhill, so a real good opportunity to make birdie. Let's see if I can do it. Okay, so I found my ball in this par 5 just in the semi-rough. I've got 180 to the front. It's downhill slightly and slightly downwind, so I've got 6-iron. See if I can find the green. Good line. That's it. I think it's back of the green. Not too bad, putt for eagle. Okay, so you've seen me test this out on the golf course and on the range. I think it's really a useful tool if you're practicing, so you can keep a record of all the shots you're hitting, and it's also good to sort of compare your practice sessions with the shots you hit out on the course. So you can look at your tempo, your speed out on the course and compare that with your practice. But I think the best feature of the PIQ analyzer is the GPS system. So you can connect it to your phone, and as I've been going around the course here, you can see a layout of the course, you can see an aerial view of the hole, you can move the cursor to see where you want to hit your drive and how far that would leave you to the green. So if you're laying up to a ditch, you can see how far it is from laying up to the ditch, how far it is from there to the green, which is quite a useful tool. I've recorded all my scores on there, so I've done 9 holes today, I did 9 holes yesterday, and it gives you stats at the end of the round. It emails you your scorecard, so it looks at your stats on the par 3s, the par 4s, the par 5s, it gives you your putting stats, it gives you greens and regulation, gives you your driving accuracy, gives you longest drive that you hit, it tells you what clubs you use the most. One thing I was a little bit concerned about before I've tried this out was the fact that it might put you off when you swing the golf club. To be honest, you don't even notice it's there. And you've got the little attachments that go into the bottom of the club. Again, you don't even notice they're there. So I was really impressed with that actually. I was a little bit worried. I thought having something on your wrist, you'd be able to feel the weight of it, and it might put you off a little bit off each swing, but it certainly doesn't do that. So really impressed with the product. I think the fact that you can use it as a GPS and a shot tracker and a swing analyzer is just an absolute bonus. Just as a GPS, this product would be really good, but with the shot tracker, recording your stats, I think that's a really good feature, and I'm definitely going to be using that as I go forward. So whether I'm playing 9 holes or 18 holes, whether I'm practicing or if I'm playing a competition, I'll be using the product just to see how my stats, my rounds, how they compare throughout the year. But also when I go to other golf courses as well, having the GPS feature on there is really handy. I normally use a Bushnell, so a laser, but with the GPS it seems very accurate. So when you play other golf courses, certainly holes where there's a dog leg or blind tee shot, something like that, when you in the Bushnell isn't very useful, then obviously using the GPS is really handy from that respect. So I'll definitely be using this alongside my Bushnell. So overall, really impressed with the product really. I was far better than I thought it was going to be, and I think it's a really useful product for you golfers to use out there. So if you've got any comments on the video, post them in the box below. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, absolutely free to do that, and you can follow me on other social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. The most